how much of Vecna was like real-life prosthetics and how much was CGI?
I was wearing full prosthetics, so it's about, I mean, like what you see on camera, if you took away the moving vines, that's everything that I was wearing. So it's head to toe, and it takes about 8 hours to put on, and about an hour to remove. And it's very hot, and if you forget to wear deodorant, your castmates are in a lot of trouble. As, you know, bless her, Sadie's never spoken about it, but I remember doing that epic scene where she runs away to Kate Bush, and I'm like this over her, and like after a take, I was like, oh man, I smell so bad, like I'm so sorry. So maybe like half of that look of disgust that she has, or fear, is very real.
But Vecna must definitely smell, you know, that was just adding to the reality of the scene, I guess.
Yeah, fleshy.
Fleshy.
I nearly said fishy.
Well, how much did that help? Because usually nowadays they do everything with CGI, but I guess it must help tremendously to the actors if there's a really scary person. What was your first reaction when you saw yourself, and what was the reaction of the cast?
So I was fortunate enough to see Vecna before it was painted, and I tried it on, and I just remember feeling so in love with what I was doing. There's actually a clip of me saying, "Oh Barry, I'm in love." Yeah, the gate, it just adds presence. It adds a lot of presence. And Millie, the first time she saw it, was absolutely terrified and burst into tears because she just expected me to be in a green suit. So you're right. You know, it adds a lot of weight to the performance, and it helped.
Like, did you offer to give her a comforting hug?
I helped her down. She was like strung up, so I just like I think I went down on one knee and told her she could put her legs on my knee, and I held my hand out, and she just lowered herself down from a position, and I think it was at that moment she realized that I was in there, and also she smelled cigarettes on me. I'm a smoker, so she was like, "Oh, there's Jamie," and I was like, "Oh, that's nice."
Oh, so Vecna smells fleshy and cigarette-y.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my dichotomy. Yeah.
No, I had this image in my head how you are hugging with that big hand of yours, like Millie, like, "Don't worry, it's me, everything's gonna be okay."
I formed a real bond with Millie, and she was here, and the moment I started talking as Henry, she turned around and she looked at me in the eyes, and it was like there was this trust that was between us. And I just knew, I'm going to cry. I just knew that it was on, you know? I knew that it would happen. I knew it was going to be great. I knew it was going to be beautiful. And that's just the kind of person that she is, you know? So any time I get to work with Mills, it's fire. Like, it's just like, it goes. It's on, man. So I think what I've loved about Stranger Things, you know, from a fan perspective and from working on it, is that every season just gets bigger. It's like from season 1 to season 4, it just like grows exponentially, and it just gets wilder and more expensive. And you know, we've done some pretty wild things for season 5. There are definitely like times when I walked onto a set and I'd be like, okay, all right, this is what we're up to today, is it? Sick, let's go. It's a beautiful end to an amazing story. I just remember almost having this like level of dissociation because I'd thought about this scene that we were going to do for the camera test, and it was a scene with Sadie. No, it was Chrissy. I think it was the Chrissy scene. And I thought about how I was going to touch the other actor. And there's people talking to me, and I'm hearing them, and I'm interacting with them, but that laser focus is just on. so that when I got out onto the stage where the cameras were, I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I know Matt and Ross were really worried. They were like, is this going to work? Like, how's the voice going to play out? Like, how's the movement going to be of the whole thing? And we did the scene. Oh, first of all, I just stood there and they like moved the camera around. And then they were like, all right, now do the scene. And there was this collective sigh of relief that it was going to work. And I felt exactly the same way. I remember coming off set and just sitting in a chair and being like, holy fuck, like, Jesus, that just happened, you know? And that was often how I felt when I was playing Vecna. It
must be kind of very unpleasant to embody somebody this, you know, hurt and evil and all of that. Do they at least pay the villains better?
Moje milovaný tričko Schrödinger Things a spoustu dalšího seriálového merče už roky nakupuju na polské stránce Advertise. Omrkněte je na cctalks.cz/things. Zrovna mají 20% slevu a posílají do Čech zásilkovnou. cctalks.cz/things.
I have to be so cautious here because I know things end up on the internet. I had a lovely time making Stranger Things. You know, I joined later in the seasons, and yeah, no, you know what, like, when I was a kid, and I still feel like this, and if there is any studio heads watching this, I will fight you. But when I was a kid, I went to go see, when I was 18, 17, before I got Sweeney Todd, I went to go see the guy that is now my agent and has been my agent since I was 18 and got me Sweeney Todd. And I went to go and see him to talk about what I wanted to do with my life. And he said to me, what's your plan? And I said, well, look, I want to go to drama school. I want to, you know, study for 3 years and hopefully at the end of that come out and get a job. But I'll be honest with you, I will be happy to play third tree from the left in a production of Midsummer Night's Dream in Swansea. And I still feel that way, you know. There are projects that I'm so fortunate enough to be a part of that, in all honesty, it sounds so PR, but like, I am just so fucking grateful to be able to do what I do for a living. It's art at the end of the day, and like, when you're doing it for the right reasons, that's all that matters. You know, that's when the art flows. If you're going into something for a process of cash, you're probably unlikely, in my case, to have a very good time. So they didn't pay me. I paid them. That's not true. That's a lie.
Well, you already said it took like 8 hours to become Vecna. And I was wondering, and this was also like spring 2020, which was kind of a dark time. I was wondering if you used these 8 hours to get into the right mindset and were you like listening to something, reading? What did you do to become Vecna inside, not just on the outside?
So, I you know, during that time of COVID and as we were, you know, gearing up towards the show, I spent a lot of time thinking and finding material that would help me get into that space. A lot of kind of low frequency meditation work to create that sense of stillness rather than chaos within the self. Digging around in resentment and rage and injustice, you know, because ultimately, you know, resentment is a sort of perceived injustice. And so when we were applying Vecna, I would just pull up bands that I like that would help me get into that space. Sound is obviously a huge thing for me. I would occasionally read, yes, I have specific sort of reading material that I was using at that time. And sometimes we'd stick on a film, and sometimes I'd drink coffee. I know you've seen the memes. yeah, it was, you know, you're not sat in the chair for 8 hours, you know, you're having to stand up, turn around, lie down, stand up, you know, so it's a long process. But yeah, a lot of music.
What did you read? I need to know.
I can't tell you.
It's not like, it's so dark.
Yeah, and it's personal, like, you know.
I'm a bookworm.
Okay.
And I like books, I like audiobooks. And when I was researching for this interview, I was like, okay, so what's been Jamie doing up lately? And I found this thing. And I didn't dig very deep because I was worried that it would be very hard to conduct a professional interview with you. There's this thing called the trials, I think. It's somehow based in a library or there's some famous scene in a library. Can you tell us more about this project of yours? Maybe do some excerpts?
So yes, I can. Shit. No. It's making me laugh. Fuck it, I'm doing it. So I did it, and it was really fun. Yeah. Okay. Next question. Shit. It gets better after that.
That's why I stopped.
If you like, imagine how. Look at how I feel. Imagine how my mum feels.
No, vy máte teda vážně dobré otázky.
Tyhle dabovaný videa, stejně jako celý podcast, produkuju na svý vlastní triko. Takže musím teď být trochu podpora a dát zbytek videa za paywall. S vaší podporou budou mít nejenom herci, režisér a střihači co jíst, ale taky budou moct vznikat další takové epizody.
A jak si představuješ finanční stránku věci?
Je možný si pořídit jednotlivý video na Forendors a nebo taky předplatný, který zůstane ještě do konce roku za 99 kaček. Díky němu si taky můžete pustit i všechny předchozí videa zpětně. Za vaši laskavou podporu děkuju já i zbytek týmu CC1, který se mnou tenhle podcast připravuje.
Jamie Campbell Bower! Woo!
Thank you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. Thank you for having me. Fuck, thank you. Thank you.